Welcome to the Explainer. So, have you ever opened up your bank app at the end of the month, stared at the balance, wondered if you were somehow hacked, and then painfully realized, nope, it was literally just you buying stuff? Yup, we've all been there. Today, we're unpacking exactly why so many incredibly hardworking people feel totally stuck in this never-ending paycheck-to-paycheck loop. If you've ever felt like you're running on a financial treadmill, working harder and harder but getting absolutely nowhere, well, this breakdown is specifically for you. Let's just dive right into this mystery. What is the one habit silently keeping you broke? We're talking about a daily behavior you probably do without a second thought. And honestly, the craziest part about it is that society actively encourages it. We're told it's completely normal. We just brush it off as a reality of modern life, but it's actually causing a massive leak in our financial foundation. Here's the brutal truth, straight from our source material. The hidden wealth killer is simply living without financial awareness. It's not necessarily about the size of your paycheck or the state of the broader economy. No, it's about navigating your own financial life completely blindfolded. It's that habit of crossing your fingers, swiping your card, and just kind of hoping the math magically works out by the end of the month. When you're operating without awareness, the symptoms are pretty obvious, but they're usually ignored. You don't track what you earn, and you definitely don't track what you spend. Because there's no real system in place, money just sort of materializes in your account on payday, and then poof, it evaporates into the ether a few weeks later without a single trace. You're essentially just a passenger in your own financial life. Let's make this super concrete. Imagine you earn a crisp $100 at the start of the week. Because you aren't tracking your daily outflows, by the time Friday night rolls around, that money has completely vanished. You honestly can't even remember what you bought. And the result? You're left with zero savings, zero investments, and absolutely zero forward progress. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Come on, my minor daily purchases don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just a few bucks, right? But that mindset right there is the exact trap. It's usually not the massive one-time purchases like a new car or a big vacation that silently ruin us. It's actually 1,000 tiny, totally unaware expenses that quietly inflict massive financial damage over time. Think about that supposedly harmless $5 coffee, or that steep delivery fee because you were just too tired to cook, or maybe that late-night online impulse buy because a hyper-targeted ad caught you when you were bored. We just brush it off as, hey, it's just $5. But that frictionless, effortless tapping of your card, that is the exact mechanism quietly keeping you broke. Let's actually run the numbers on this because, honestly, the math is kind of staggering. $5 a day feels like absolutely nothing, right? It barely registers. But that daily habit quickly mushrooms into $150 a month. Let that run unchecked, and you are bleeding out a massive $1,800 a year entirely unnoticed. And the deeper tragedy here isn't just lost cash vanishing into thin air, it's the massive opportunity cost. That $1,800 is capital that you could have used to actively grow your wealth. By handing it over for fleeting convenience, you aren't just losing pocket change. You are literally sacrificing your future financial freedom. This really all boils down to a fundamental difference in discipline. We're looking at two completely opposite mentalities at play here. The poor habit is spending first, enjoying the moment, and then maybe saving later if there happen to be some scraps left over. The wealthy mindset, it flips that script entirely. They secure their future by saving and investing first and only spend what remains. This creates a massive, glaring divide. Without that discipline, people stay financially paralyzed because their priorities are completely upside down. They prioritize the instant gratification of buying what they want right now while entirely ignoring the financial safety nets and wealth-building blocks that they absolutely need for a secure tomorrow. So, where does this lack of discipline actually come from? Well, our source identifies a hidden enemy, the dopamine trap. Our modern world is practically engineered from the ground up for constant distraction. Every single time we click buy now or order takeout, we get this rapid rush of pleasure. This biochemical loop keeps us addicted to quick hits, which completely derails our long-term focus. We are literally trading our future wealth for cheap, instant pleasure. Mindlessly scrolling social media or, falling down a late-night rabbit hole of random videos gives us that immediate satisfaction. But the harsh reality is that these zero-growth habits offer absolutely nothing for your real-world future. They consume your time, and by extension, they consume your money. Which brings us to a really harsh truth about our modern habits. We're letting meaningless entertainment replace essential education. Instead of burning hours on content that wastes time and keeps us completely stagnant, we should be channeling that exact same energy into learning high-value skills, building a business, or mastering the very money management principles that build lasting wealth. To break free from this vicious cycle of distraction, you need a profound mental shift. You have to stop being a passive consumer of goods, content, and services. Instead, you need to adopt a relentless investment mindset. You have to start seeing every single dollar as an employee. Your money needs a job, and its job is to go out there and make you more money. So why is this mindset so rare? Well, even when people do manage to scrape together some savings, they often just let it sit there in a traditional checking account. They're terrified of investing, they're intimidated by risk, and they feel completely overwhelmed by the effort it takes to learn new financial systems. And because of that fear, their hard-earned money simply stagnates. Wealthy individuals, on the other hand, approach this entirely differently. They push past the fear and they literally force their money to go to work for them. They proactively put their capital into the market, build new ventures, and continuously upgrade their own high-value skills. They view every single dollar as a seed for growth, rather than just a ticket for momentary entertainment. There is an incredibly powerful philosophy from the source material to remember here. Money should grow, not sit. Capital must be put to work. If it's just sitting totally stagnant in a standard bank account, it isn't actually safe at all. The invisible tax of inflation and the crushing weight of missed opportunities will quietly eat it alive year after year. And that leads us to a hard truth we all have to face at some point. Being broke is not always your fault, but staying broke is absolutely a habit. Your starting point in life, maybe a sudden layoff or an unexpected medical emergency, those might not be your fault. But remaining in a constant state of financial struggle, that is a direct byproduct of daily unaware habits. If you actually want to break this cycle, there are 3 non-negotiable steps you've got to adopt immediately. 1. Track your money so you actually know where it lives. 2. Control your spending by ruthlessly cutting out those unaware, dopamine-driven habits. And 3. Invest for growth. This is the only real bridge from passive unawareness to active generational wealth creation. I'll leave you with a final provocative question from this explainer to reflect on today. Are you controlling your money, or is your money controlling you? It's a vital question to answer honestly because your financial future entirely depends on the habits you decide to build starting right now. Thanks so much for tuning in.